No.
I think that's a criminal offense.
No, make them squirm. Make them think that they are the problem.
Yeah. And we'll just let this go for like a couple minutes while we get started. We can just normal banter. I've already got all of us on here live if you want to do the wave or whatever. So I think you should wave with the coffee mug completely full.
Yeah, we actually are live. Okay.
Yeah, we are live right now. You can see all of our beautiful faces. The wonderful time it took for me to actually try and figure out a good layout for this, which I still modified in the end just because 4 of the 5 of us are on camera, so I've got my own camera going, and then I've got the other 3 content creators on the other side with all of the hosts of Twitch stuff, and of course our special guest. But speaking of that, let's get this terrible party started. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are from. This is the Warlord special, where we get together with content creators for Warlord and some other guests to talk about Warlord. I am your primary host, Aaron, or Aaron. I respond to both. If you're new to the channel, I am a Warlord content creator as well as a variety game streamer where I play an assortment of video games with my usual co-host, Danny, who is the mage, as I have in our title, and I am the power, so we are powerful mages. With us today, first up, we've got, and I apologize if I mispronounced the handle, is it Arlen?
Yeah, yep.
Perfect. She is our Midwest sweetheart who you can catch on Twitch playing Warlord with some other shenanigans. Tell us a little bit about your channel in a little bit more depth and what you've got going on.
Yeah, so I am a Warlord, primarily content creator from Minnesota in the USA. My kind of overarching theme on the channel is dragons, but I can definitely arch out into some other stuff, especially with 5e coming in and not having a huge card pool to begin with. I'll probably start playing some other stuff as well. Later this fall and winter, I do also plan to do some other just kind of like fantasy type vibe stuff like Baldur's Gate and maybe some D&D as well. So if you're into that sort of thing, be sure to check out the Twitch channel.
Awesome. Thanks for plugging yourself on that one. And also, all of our hosts, I've got the Twitch channels up there for you. Next up, we've got our mild-mannered, definitely never angry New Jersey giveaway guru, Chris Nirvana Toolvac. He's got 5-minute deck building challenges up on YouTube, a couple learn to plays. He's always pushing the boundaries with some fun decks, in my opinion. Why don't you tell us the secrets to your wisdom, Chris?
You play this game for 2 decades and it's just ingrained in your head. I usually don't have to think too much, which is great. Again, it just started playing Warlord in 2001 and just haven't stopped. Even when the game was kind of in that limbo, there was still the annual Gen Con gathering of people. It's like, cool, let's remember this game used to exist, and let's all just play one tournament, and then that'll be it. And then some crazy people decided, let's start playing online and bring it back, and now do a Kickstarter. And I was the one, when that was all happening, I was the sucker who was like, we need someone showing games online. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I had Trump bucks from COVID in quarantine. I'm like, let me spend my Trump bucks on getting a laptop that I can actually use to stream stuff and buy some equipment, and the rest is history.
I like it. Glad to have you on as well. And last but certainly not least of our content creator hosts, we have our friend from Germany, Seb Slyfox. You can catch him on Twitch as well as YouTube playing Warlords, and also a little bit of a variety streamer with video games. So Sly, thanks for joining us from the other side of the world in Europe. Want to talk about what a little bit more in depth on like games that you play, because I know you play a little bit of a variety there.
Oh yeah, I do. So first of all, thank you for being here. I'm Sebastian on. you didn't remove the so I'm Sebastian from Germany. And yeah, well, I had streaming and VOD recording on YouTube as an hobby since 9 or 10 years. So I already had the setup, and when I well, Warlord was dead, and then some people get me back and said, yeah, they're still playing it online, don't you want to? And I was, I don't know. And I tried a tournament. I said, yeah, why not? And I mean, I already had the equipment, so why not record it and publish it? And we have lost so many good old decks and information with Temple of Lore, where I said, yeah, I recorded and published that one. And if I'm not speaking English, you will find German content about different kind of games. Probably my main game is Oxygen Not Included, and other strategic build-up games. But like I said, a variety game. I play whatever is where I have fun to. Especially now, Silksong is out, so I'm loving that one.
Yeah, I haven't touched that one yet. I couldn't get into Hollow Knight, but I plan on probably playing it.
If you didn't play Hollow Knight, Silksong is a little bit harder. So
Oh, is it?
just for your information, I played all Dark Souls parts, so just for information, Silksong is a little bit more spicy than Hollow Knight.
Good to know.
I bought Silksong, having never played Hollow Knight, only because all those people waited all those years for that Kickstarter, and I just
It's
wanted to
still
rub
worth
it in. I didn't have to wait at all and just spent $20, and that was good.
Last of all, for our guest host we have today, our very first winner of our very first 5e constructed event, Dylan, aka Sir Hosh, the People's Kentucky Fried Champion. Thank you for joining us today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. So I've been playing Warlord for 20 plus years now as well. Started in high school, carried it through since the dark times that we had, and I'm loving the fact that it's back and we're playing with actual cards. We have this community built online. It's fabulous. I'm loving every bit of it.
Glad to have you. Also, congratulations again on your stunning victory of making Chase play an hour and a half, only to crush him in the end.
It's the only way to do it.
The best way to do it.
Exactly. So we'll get things started off with a quick little look on, how many entrants that we had, all the different factions. We actually had a total of 52 entrants for the very first 5e constructed online, which is pretty great. We had 12 Deverinian decks, 5 dwarves, 4 elves, 11 free kingdoms, 14 mercenaries, and 6 Nothrog decks in total for each faction. Retzov was our most played warlord out of them all, with a total of 6 decks being piloted. Tankard actually came up in second with 5 Tankard decks being played during the event. So why don't we take a quick look at also the top 8 decks that we had for that. We're going to go from 8 all the way up to the very first one. We can, give us or give our opinions on that and what we liked, what we disliked, who was piloting it, and if we actually liked them as a person or not. Just kidding on that last one. So first up, and this is oddly enough my favorite deck of the event, we've got Atomic Tomato, aka Adam, with his Archivist Minerva Rogue combo deck.
That one was a surprise to see in top 8.
Yeah.
Icy. I wouldn't say I'm so shocked that it topped 8 though, because the Archivist giving +1 level, that was the one that stood out to me when the draft warlords were revealed. Like, all right, there's a way to abuse this, and there's, especially in a smaller card pool where level 4s have so much value, you're like, all right, there's got to be a level 9 item.
Yep.
I was thinking Blade of Antiquity, but going in on the Wraith Stalker as the key to this engine was awesome.
Yep, definitely. A deck that I didn't expect it, where I have seen the top 8 or had the chance to see some games online. I was really too surprised to see that one. Like I said, a drafting warlord. I said, okay, what's behind that? And I would never expect it to go that well. So big shout out for Atomic Tomato.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that are kind of unfamiliar with the card itself, basically the key component on this is Wraith Stalker. Wraith Stalker being a level 9 rogue item that grants the wearer stealth +5, +3 armor, But the big thing to it is the order. Spend the Wraith Stalker and discard the top 2 cards of your deck. You perform a melee strike targeting a character in the very last rank of an opposing formation, and the strike also inflicts an additional wound, which is actually very good. So, like everybody else, I was very glad to see that this one came up for us. We will head on into our 7th place deck, which was Gun. Congrats, Gun. Thanks for checking us out also. He was playing Librarian Shasta, as I like to call her, or Shastra. Very interesting deck. I don't think anyone expected to see her come up this high. Her ability felt a little bit disappointing, but she was still a lot of fun, I think. Thoughts on this one?
I didn't actually see this one in action, so I have no notes.
Yeah, I assume it was trash because Gunn was playing it. But the limited order is very good. Super controlly. Just taking a look at the deck, it uses some interesting action package, like using Grave Exchange and Bolt of Unrest. So it's really just kind of leaning in on the strengths of the Deveranian army, which I do think is one of the best straight out of the gun. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, talking about
Gun
devs
stretch.
in general, Duke Richter was really solid. He's one kind of like, we'll get to Master Dresden eventually, but it maybe should have been unique, but definitely a very powerful card. Saw a lot of play in, I think all the dev decks ran 3 copies, at least that made top 8. I could be wrong on that.
No, I think that's what it was as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the devs, like there's not a lot of options other than going with the 4 package. I think they put a lot of slots towards High Acolyte Helene in the set. So like there's no Iron Dukes, there's no super great level 2s other than like Squire Fendrick. It's like, all right, cool. I guess I'm running all these 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think one of the main reasons, like Chris already told about, is the starting armies for the Duranian, especially with the 3 Squire, and then directly move in with the other Squire is from rank 2, the Svendrick. Moving in, getting more AC ATK, and doing only aggression the whole time, and it still works. It doesn't matter what kind of Duranian Warlord you have. You have already really, really strong starting army, and you can build up on that one. Here, the Warlord have some spend technique and the charisma, which you can use, and the rest of the army.
Yeah, absolutely. I am always a big fan of the all-in on Squire for Deveranians, for now anyways. Speaking of Deveranians, hey look, number 3, which was our 5th and 6th place person, first one we've got is Melon Neko, who is playing Church Enforcer Tancred. Oddly, not using the Ambitious Squire for the start, but the Gene Court Initiate for that Death React to make the next strike targeting a character this turn in your army a critical failure. How do we feel about
Melon's
this
always
one?
gonna be a little different.
Also, Triple Duke Richter.
A Melon doesn't, Melon's played this game for a long, long time. Never wants to play the cookie cutter deck. Always has at least a little bit of spice or a little bit of jank. So not too. I'm shocked at the Warlord choice. I thought for sure Melon was going auto, but this is an interesting take on it. Especially the actions are just 3 wells applied, 3 minutes at the end just to get this. Melon looked at Deveranus Axe. It's like I'm just going all in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deveranus Axe is a really solid item. Having that react not be limited can do a lot of damage as well. Something that stood out to me was, the amount of fighters in the top 8, but like we see in this list, the amount of Thunic Yeti that we had as a level 4 merc, so he can slot into any deck, and he can equip a lot of those fighter items that your Warlord may already have equipped and can't equip duplicates. So that was kind of a surprise for me, seeing how many Thunic Yetis made it into lists as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I expected way more Church Enforcer, because he's way more solid, especially if you're looking with our Deverinian army. And well, I mean, there's two ways to play it. If you have the cards that you drawn and it's all on Warlord, you go forward and do it directly, or you support your army because your army does a great job as well. And I think that just works out pretty good. That's the reason why I tried to build something more against front fighters with my deck in this tournament, but well, it didn't work out so well. But I mean, it's nice. It's a first edition. It's a main base set, so we will build on that one, and we will see how it develops. So the card pool is at the moment small, but we're looking forward to it for the second edition.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for our other person in 5th/6th place, we have the one, the only Fish, aka Greaves, who is not only did quite a number of art for this first set, but piloted Retsov, everybody's favorite dragon dropper so far. So I played against him. I thought the deck was kind of interesting. He didn't go as all in on the Uber items as I know Hosh did with his deck, or Hosh. How do you prefer to pronounce it, Hosh? You've been kind of quiet.
It's Hosh, but I assumed you were just doing it for the memes.
Calling you a hoe.
No, it's literally I don't know how to pronounce things right away, so we'll go with Hosh now instead of Hosh. So apologies on that, or I can go
Okay.
Dylan if you prefer.
Hoshadillo's fine, doesn't matter to me.
Hoshadillo, I like it.
I enjoyed the item layout in this deck because it's not an Uber, so it adds a little bit more versatility. I felt like because like the double Dark Watcher, I thought that was something that could really be utilized out of Restov. That could be a lot of fun, and I think the item support here really plays to that a little bit better than the Uber style.
Yeah.
Sacrifice is definitely an interesting pick here. Just I guess with Dark Watcher being a cleric.
And I mean, starting the 2 Tyrans as well.
Yeah. I think it's just like, let me put 10 HP in the starting army and make sure I can play my dragons if I have to.
I think 3 Swift Cloud is kind of surprising as well. I think in my list, which did not make it this far, I only ran 2 of them. I tried not to triple up on unique characters, but clearly it worked out for him here. And then just something that we see in the top Retsov decks was running that Dark Watcher in there and getting more items to put on people. I took a more spell approach with Retsov, so I didn't run Dark Watcher, didn't have many items for him to equip, and he's a cleric, so he can't do the spells, but definitely a solid dragon to include in Retsov going forward.
Yes, this is something that I've really shown this tournament is we go in front fighter and front army against a big dragon drop army. It's very nice to see all this level 5 dragon, which bring in definitely more dragon action than just in the past where we mostly had level 6 or up dragons.
Right.
Very few level 5 dragons. I mean, some level 4s, but they were smaller ones. So I like the variety for those dragons. But well, they're scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only major critique out of dropping a Swift Cloud would also be the flame fall. I'm genuinely not particularly sold on it. Like, yes, it's got good movement and can get up there fast. But I honestly think Ash Rain's a little bit better in this side. It's got the higher AC. It can get ready if someone kills it when it's got like its specialized death react order on a character, so it can be up front, stunned. Someone's like, well, I'm going to kill this guy. Oh, wait, you already put the order on him. Well, guess I'm readying your Ash fail.
Yeah,
And
you
also,
you said Ash Raid. I was like, yeah. I wish Ash Raid was.
No, I honestly was surprised at the amount of utility I got out of Ash Veil. You can really manipulate where people want to attack based on where you put his death react. I agree. I'm not completely sold on Flamefall. I also only ran 1 in my list, but he just has too many limitations. Having to spend somebody to move, it is 2 ranks. It's not limited, but you do have to spend somebody. Being a rogue, whereas you're looking primarily at The rest of the dragons being either wizards or clerics. He has a +8, but then his other two strikes are +0s, and he has relatively low AC for a dragon. So,
Yeah.
kind of a bit of a glass cannon. I didn't find him to be really useful at all, personally.
All right, let's jump in now to our top 4 decks. In 4th place, we've got Graham with yet another Church Enforcer Tancred. Solid deck. I did notice and I enjoy the Starbinders that were in both of the Tancred decks.
I
Just
played
being-
against him,
Oh yeah.
and this was definitely a card I had on the radar, but didn't really thought it goes so well. It can really be a big pain, especially since you don't have boosts from cleric stuff like mass splitting and stuff like that. Adding 1 or 2 of those in your deck and giving target characters or characters that they're mainly holding ranks or doing a specific thing, bonus of ATK or AC, is a big utility and makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
The Donnybrook is also something that we didn't see in the other Tankreds. So Graham was clearly saying that I'm building around Tancred specifically, going to the front, bouncing back with the Sister Kierans and the. Where's it? Wait, does he not run the Great Hawk, or can I not read? didn't run-
No,
he
they
No,
run
he
the
doesn't
Grey
have the
Hawks.
Great Hawk.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is a surprise.
This felt like the deck was really built more to be utility style, like just a toolbox to deal with whatever comes across, right?
Yeah.
Like looking at that, like the crush for item destruction, the arcane approach for the punching, the pounce for movements, and the starbinders. Like it felt very toolboxy, and I liked it.
Yeah, so it's a terrible deck, but the Graham's a good player.
Well, short question for you all. Findle Tourist Rolled. What do you think about that card?
I personally really like the Finaltors, as Graham likes to correct us, draft. Because it's just a weird English pronunciation, like how you say laugh, you don't say lauf or law.
Okay.
But at any rate, the Final Tours draft, I'm going to keep calling it Drought as well, I don't care. I like that it has the double-edgedness, but it's also very good on characters like this where they're making an attack, and you're like, okay, I don't have a ton of ways or any ways to ready myself, so my attack is also high enough where sometimes I may just drop first, then make attacks, and then I can not worry about, rolling low too much. And it's a
potion and a
spend.
treasure. Exactly. It doesn't take up a slot either.
Mhm.
It's just there's when I saw this, like it's clearly designed with the idea that front rank fighters usually die fast. Like I think we were all kind of scarred from that mentality in like Ancients for all these years that we were playing. So I wouldn't be surprised if Josh was like, cool, let me give something to make fighters live in the front rank, but have a little bit of a drawback.
Yeah.
Which is a little drawback, not much though.
I like the
Yeah.
Storm Shard too. That's a fun one that they printed to kind of push Alliance as well, since it readies both of your warlords. But being only level 7, not level 8, and being able to equip it, ready your warlord, and get a card out of the deal, despite being epic, it seems like a borderline auto include in a lot of decks, at least in this first set.
Oh, 100%.
We had the funny situation where we had this. He was popping the Findle Tours, where you get an disadvantage, and I had an action where I had advantage. So we were sitting there that okay, we agree on nothing happens. You don't have advantage, you don't have disadvantage, because
Yeah,
we're negating it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the rules. So like that's what it is. If you're adding advantage to a disadvantage strike, they just negate each other. So
Yeah.
That was
think
quite
of it
funny.
always like +1 -1.
And even then, it's also like they don't stack with each other, so you don't have 3 instances of disadvantage. It's just still considered 1 for anybody a little curious on the rules on that one. But
Easier
solid
that
play by Graham on this one. And then third place
One-
is...
One more note on that deck actually is
Yeah.
Tamar the Protector. The fact that he stacks,
Yes.
not only getting that AC, but also that skill can help deal with some dragon DC checks and different spells. So he He was at 3 of in this list. Melon only ran 2 of them. But I do think if you're going front rank with Tancred, 3 of them is the way to go just to get that little AC boost.
Oh yeah, and even I don't know. I think 2 AC is pretty significant, early on as well.
For sure.
You get 3 of them, and you're getting +6. That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Especially because you have the tempo option with the Fendrick and Squire start,
Right.
where you first action play Tomar, then next action spend Squire to go forward. Tomar falls, and now everyone's buffed, and you've started the pain train with some extra
Mhm.
defense.
All right, we will get to my deck finally. The wonderful, beautiful person who played this chose to want to go more in on a focus on Alrain doing everything. Whereas, I had some characters in here like Tunnel Worms to help with what I call dancing, just to keep moving around. Clearly, the Tufel Trigger Shroud did so much work for me in some games. It's bananas. That sleight of hand is absolutely insane.
Yeah, indeed. Sleight of hand is a bonkers feat. I mean, it's thankfully just within one rank, but if you can pop it, oh boy, that's a good one.
And just for people who return to the game after a while or new players, and for myself, because I honestly don't remember, what does Sleight of Hand do, just since that's a new feat that we haven't seen before?
So Sleight of Hand is a order once per turn. Target an item within 1 rank. Perform a DC 20 to destroy, or if this character may legally equip the item, they may do so, or you can destroy the item. So,
Okay, yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, being able to steal people's Great Hawks was wonderful. But it was mostly blowing up things like the blades, the Steelforge Regalia. Those were like the 2 big ones.
Mm-hmm. Or like taking off a Daverness's axe as well would be nice.
Yep.
Stealing medical kits and then healing yourself, that's fun.
Yeah.
But how is there no Cloud Racer in this deck?
So, that is the thing that threw a lot of people off. The reason I ran Scout Pony instead of Cloud Racer was after some discussions with Sanji, oddly enough. Because
you screwed yourself right there.
Yeah, well, it's because I was running Hunt from Above, and there were a couple instances where I was in the opposing army on the following turn, and I didn't have a way to get a steed equipped. So we went with something, because Cloud Racer's a level 6 item, but Scout Pony is a level 2, I think it is, or a level 3, level 2. So I could equip it in the opposing army, and if I needed to get away, I had an additional chance to do that.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that the same reason you didn't have the Great Hawk as well? Just being level 6?
Kind of. The other thing for that is I knew I could steal them from people. So if people were running up to the front, I could just theft it. Or if I was in their army, I could steal it as well.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna rely on my opponents playing good cards, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
I do like Hunt from Above though, because there's not many options to gain stealth. I think it's this and Raid Stalker, if I'm not mistaken, are the only 2 ways to gain stealth. But with Alrin, like especially before we all kind of saw how this goes, that was the first thing you thought. It's like this is gonna be like mid range, is like trolley decks. Just run in with Alrin and murder people. Like, and this is the only way you can really do that. But True Strike also is just really good.
That's only on if you're a scout, though.
Oh yeah, you don't get that. So
yeah,
just for
How
stealth.
did you handle the ATK problem?
Starbinder probably.
Yeah, just
I ran
Starbinder?
the 3 Starbinders I had. After some discussion with some people also, I chose Gap Finder because more times than not, people are spent, and especially because I ran 3 Master Dresdens being a mercenary warlord, being able to spend them as well added to that advantage. So getting +6 for the attack overall, and then also having Revenger with an additional +2. Like the first game I played, I had such a huge bonus to attack. It was like a +22, a +20, and a +18. So I didn't have to worry too much about the low attack on that. But that's also with 3 Starbinders in play and Gap Finder as well as Revenger being online.
How did you find the Jubilant Hatchling to work out for you?
It worked on occasion. Most of the time, though, I was pitching it to Oracle of Kavara. There were a couple instances where I danced in and out of the rank just so I could punch it and heal a wound if I felt it was needed.
Sure.
In the future, though, I'm probably only going to run one.
Okay.
And,
And then what
and
about the Method Shambling Horror start? How did
So
that work out for you?
it worked out well. The Shambling Horror, just to be able to help get rid of some of the pesky front rank Death React characters.
Mhm.
Like if I fought against the Trogid, if I fought against the Gene Court Initiates, if I
Sure.
fought against the Corpse Crowds. Those are like the three big ones that
Mhm.
have the Death React in front rank. The Method I liked because of the high AC, and also I was running Dissolve, so if I needed something and I wanted to use the Shambling Horror for attack, I could Dissolve with Method.
Okay.
Not to mention, Shambling Horror can also cast Dissolve.
Hosh,
So
I
I-
think you were trying to say something. Yeah, go for
yeah,
it.
I was gonna ask about Midnight Madness because I only played against that card one time, and that was against Audra. And so, like, how did that work out for you? Because I didn't see it a whole lot in the field, but I feel like it's a good enough card to be added. It just gets rid of pesky problem characters that are in your way.
I quite enjoyed it. It was a last minute include into the deck because I had this feeling that there were going to be a lot of drag and drop decks with Retsov because a lot of people were talking about how good it was going to be. I felt that it was the correct include because it did help me on a couple occasions get rid of, pop dragons back in that they've dropped into the front rank. But it also was a card that I would occasionally just put to the bottom or drop. It was one of those situational, it'll be good if I really need it, or it can be something that I can pitch to Oracle. As well as if they've got a card left that I know they probably want to keep, I can Midnight Madness to get them to discard it.
Yeah, I liked it overall in my list. It's one I would run as like a 1 or a 2 of. I don't think I'd ever go 3, but I kind of had the same thought process as you, where I expected a lot of Retsov, and I mean, hey, both of us were right. She was the number 1 played Warlord, but expected to be able to bounce some dragons back. Now it is worth noting that if they get a big Dark Watcher up there, can't bounce him because they can't have items equipped with it. But I think right now, since most of these decks, you see a lot of level 3 and 4 characters in them right now. There aren't too many really solid, just straight up low level character decks. So you're pretty much always going to have somebody, even if it's not your Warlord, that can play that 3rd level spend action.
Yeah. Bouncing Blitzer, also very good.
Oh, yeah. I think I did that once. That felt pretty good.
And the best thing, people, is if you want to see that deck run in some games, you have the chance by watching it here.
Absolutely. All right, I've talked about myself enough. Let's move on to our Agracus. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. We appreciate you.
Well,
We've
some
got
of us.
our second place with Kamikaze, I guess.
Have
is
a
what it's-
QC.
Can we call it Kama Cutie?
Yep.
Oh, you're such a Kama cutie.
Chase won't be happy about that.
Or as I like to call him on the
Kamikaze.
stream, Karma Chameleon. Chase playing the only Ephraim that made it to the top 8 out of the whole 2 that was played. Karma Chameleon, exactly, Russell. Hosh. You like how I keep saying Hosh instead of Hosh?
Gosh,
It's
leave it
ingrained
to
into
it,
my
man.
memory now to call you Hosh instead of
speak
Hosh,
it like
and
a
I don't
German.
know why.
Hosh.
Just like Hamakusi. So you had the pleasure of playing against a chase deck while playing a chase deck. How'd
Yes.
you feel about this when you encountered that?
I really liked this Ephraim deck, and we playtested a lot against each other, the Retsov and this Ephraim deck, and it was very much a Wild West standoff. Whoever got to the front first just kind of was waiting for the other person, right? But
Yeah.
what I enjoyed about this Ephraim deck compared to the Retsov is that the character base feels better for a longer game than the dragons, because the dragons are usually burned down pretty quick. And like Field Marshal is fantastic, and the movement that Ephraim brings with him, fabulous. The mobility is just great.
Before I forget, though,
But
Sanji, thanks for the Prime sub. We appreciate you.
short question I got what you said with the movement. I've watched the deck, and I mean, there aren't many level 1 characters to banish to do the journey. There's
I
just the
noticed that
starting.
too.
So I built decks too before I decided to go on more fun deck with mine. This was definitely my second pick where I have chosen to go more seriously, and I added way more level 1's characters so that I can use this ability to send out more supporting army characters from rank 3. So I was a little bit surprised that this deck it does perform well, but just having these 3 starting characters feels a little bit like there's missing something to use as
Yeah,
more
and not to
opportunity.
mention not only having just the 3 level 1s, but 3 that are supposed to stay alive. Like,
Yeah.
they're very, very beefy. I mean, TFK is just a thick starting character.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
somebody that
He's thick in real life. I'll say it since you don't want to be mean.
He's a
just
resilient
implied it.
person.
I just implied it. I didn't say it. But no, yeah, I'm with you, Sly, that not running any level 1 list and having a level 1 that is trying to hold ranks and not get to the discard seemed a little bit odd to me, but I mean, he got second place, so clearly it worked.
Which level 1s were you considering, Sly? Birdsong, Albert Novice,
give me a sec.
Keen-eared.
I can open the deck. I did. My build was a little bit different. I didn't was starting with TFK. I was starting with the Keen-eared Sentry, where you got the high stealth check, but still just only 1 hit point. And I added something like 3 Birdsong Druids, where you have the Enter React, where you also have the chance that when you reveal the right card, yet your target Free Kingdom character can journey, which is obviously a really, really good choice. And I also added Leonara as well, because I was trying to get Ephraim as soon as possible to the front, and we're running a little bit more focused on the Warlord. And also playing a very interesting card where I was at the beginning were unsure, but with a lot of testing, I said it's really good there. It was Noble Sacrifice. This is the level 1 spend react classless card after your character is targeted by a striker action, and this character is in the front rank, kill this character, cancel the striker action, where I can focus to kill a level 1 character if I want to and negate a strike or action that was targeting me.
Yeah, I think Noble Sacrifice will get better as the game evolves, I think.
Yeah.
Right now, we didn't see a lot of it, but when there becomes a deck that it's like just that it hard counters, we'll start seeing a whole bunch more of it.
Yeah.
Chosen would
It's a
have
good
liked it.
Warlord.
But yeah, Chase did good. The
yeah.
deck is super tight.
Mhm.
You know, I do really like what he did, and he finished exactly where he's destined to.
And I'm pretty sure he's gonna tweak on that one as well. So that's not the 100% he can do. I think he will made his conclusions about the deck. I think that's the right pronouncing. I don't know what you mean. I think you know what I mean. So he
Yep.
know what worked out and what not worked out, and gonna change that one.
Yeah, I like that he went with the Uber build on this one. Definitely seemed to be a thing that worked out. Not as much item hate I saw going around. I know there was a few of us that were talking about it, but I think this kind of maybe made us see the importance of it a little bit. Because Blade of Antiquity is disgusting. Way better than I thought it was going to be. Not to mention the Steel Forge Regalia. It's just so good being able to get 2 extra strikes off of death kills. Or, yeah, that's right, death kills. Kill reacts.
Death kills.
It's my new metal band, Death Kills.
We're just getting a lot of sound bites out of you. We're gonna have a soundboard for you soon.
There you go. Ooh. All right, and first place with the Commander Retsov, also doing that extra 10 hit point starting army with the triple Brine Fiend, double Tyrant Ruskin. We have Hosh. You like that? Didn't say it wrong this time. How you like that, Hosh?
Oh, you did it again.
Got a troll. Congrats again for the second time on this one. Tell us what
Thank
went
you,
through
thank
with your deck building process on this one.
So with this, the items and actions you'll see the exact same as what Ephraim was running. So like that's part of that kamikaze build, right? What where it changed, right, is to Retzov's drag and drop. So it was really finding the balance with what dragons to include. I really wanted to put all of them in there because I can, right? So like Flamefall felt like the weakest, but I doubled up on Brightwing and doubled up on Kingslayer because Brightwing is more movement and healing, and then the Kingslayer is just gonna ready me. And then obviously a Black Wind, if it comes out, great. If not, I can always just chuck it for a different dragon. And with the multiples of the items, I had less instances of dead cards, being able to use Retzov's order to just discard a old item that I've already got equipped, like a Regalia, and now I can just put a level 4 or higher right next to me, you know.
Yeah. Gracchus, thanks for the tier 1 sub, gift sub to Ollie. Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Sehr gut.
Yeah, this deck is great. Obviously, you can't argue with results, but I did play against it, so that's why you didn't see much of me. But also
Same
got
here.
to play. So that's why blame this guy for not a lot of content this month. But
Yeah.
the thing that I felt playing against, and I was playing Wasan, a super blitz, spell blitz deck for Nothrogs. And I felt I did pretty good killing his army to try and get to the Warlord. The problem with Retzov is once the army's gone, that doesn't mean it's gone forever, because here's a level 5 dragon right away. Just there's no consequence of losing your ranks at all. So you can just focus on getting Ubered, and then just okay, cool. You're blitzing. That's cute. All right. There's a lot of casualties. They're just sacrifices to the greater good, because I'm now up here fully suited, and now I'm going to drop a Brightwing, and now I can't die. It's really tough to crack this one.
Yeah, I was surprised with the Uber build for Vatsov, because the approach that I took, I mean, I'm used to playing summoners where you keep them out of harm's way, so I kind of kept her in the second rank to drop dragons and then they could move up, rather than putting items on her and having her come up to the front. Again, clearly it worked out here, but one of the big issues I found playing against Tosh was he got so many strikes. I think I was pretty lucky to be able to stun Kingslayer with Core's Patience a couple turns in a row, so he wasn't able to ready as much as he could have. But with the Kingslayer and the Storm Shard, the readying that he had there, and the multi-wounding from things like Rock Arm, it was honestly scary how fast he was able to plow through the dragons that I was putting up front. It really didn't take much effort once he got that attack high enough, got enough swings, and got some multi-wounding and readying. It was, like you said, you get a Brightwing in there, and that's game. You're unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, that's true. I only meet one Retzov, and that was played by Russell, which I luckily won. But that was one of the reasons why I was putting in the Great Crossbow. Yeah, the Great Crossbow in my deck, where I can shoot 3 ranks, and just after I used it, I can discard it for another shot. So I was nearly ignoring the whole front rank and tried to throw everything into my front rank and getting shot in enough shots in the second and third rank, so that did work out. But that's the only reason why I put it in there, to somehow get characters who stay long enough in the third rank. So what can I say? It's nice to see that we have with this character and all the level 5 dragons directly to the beginning of an edition so many dragon action. And I'm interested to see how the meta will build around it, because normally if we looking back in the time with the Saga, with the CE, with Epic Edition, all the stuff, dragon drops mostly did come in about the half of the edition, which did had more support. Now we have directly in the beginning, so spicy, but interesting to see. And hopefully some people and dragon fanatics will bring this to the game and enjoy it.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Absolutely on that.
I want to talk about Dresden a little bit too, since we haven't too much up until this point. He's another one. I feel like I complain about this a lot, but just should be unique, in my opinion. When you have two mercenary warlords playing each other and you have two or three Dresdens in play apiece, it's just not fun gameplay, in my opinion. It really gets to be a lot, but
Yeah.
having charisma on there is really solid, something I forgot basically every game except for against Tosh because he was using the charisma and I was like, oh yeah, we have that. But not a huge Dresden fan, but I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
one
want to
needed
come
a
off
little,
as complaining too much.
this one needed a little bit more play testing. It needed to be in the oven a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree that unique is the easy fix.
No
Even just
erratas.
rank restriction on the DC also would just do it as well. But
Yeah.
you know, exactly like you said, no erratas. So
Yeah, I think that was the
just
thing that they had
wait
mentioned.
for everyone to buy this card, and then they'll ban it and piss everybody off.
Or restrict
So
it.
everybody got his 3 copies, and then for the next edition we ban it. So we.
But
make
don't
our
worry,
money.
you can still play it at Alliance and Ancient.
And
Dylan, how
yes,
often did you get the Dark Watcher built up as well? Was he just kind of a, it's nice if it works out, or did you kind of deliberately try and get some items on him as well?
It was nice if it worked out. I think only one time I was able to put the Blade of Antiquity on the Dark Watcher.
Sure.
What I found was useful for Dark Watcher was because I'm readying so much with Retsoff, the ability to just order ready an item.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to ready my rock arm to go again.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Can't use the Great Hawk because that's a limited order. That
Mm-hmm.
made me sad, but the rock arm doesn't have that limitation.
I mean, just to be honest about back to Dresden, he was even be good if he would be a warlord. I mean, if you're making a warlord with Yaute, he's even a bonkers warlord, just for the ability alone.
Honestly,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being a dual class level 4 enter is also crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the thing that I thought was interesting was how they wanted to have dual classes, for the most part, not have that enters in one level above.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Amanda was clearly a offshoot on that, but that's because she was a reprint.
Right.
He would be insane as a four.
Oh yeah.
But Dresden's insane. Richter, same thing. That
Mm-hmm.
could have been level 5s.
Thank you, Russell. Dresden is in fact unique in Alliance.
You know what Richter means?
What
In
Richter?
Warrior or something like
German
that.
word?
No, a striker
It's-
or something like that. I don't know.
Judge.
A judge? Oh, okay.
A judge. A judge is ein Richter.
Oh, so he's Duke Judge.
Yeah, technically.
Duke Judge sounds like some guy who's like, you know, an MLB player, hits 350.
Oh, well.
Coming up to the point, we've got Duke Judge.
Exactly. It's like you were bred to be a professional athlete. Come on now.
I will say that I actually did go through all of the decks that were played in this event, and I wanted to see what was the most played mercenary. Oddly, it was not Master Dresden. It was Oracle of Kavar, which had the most copies.
Cool.
but
seen in the most decks was Blitzer.
Okay.
That's interesting, yeah. But I guess with Church, with Tancred, Blitzer's just really good because that's a 3-wound shot right there. So
Yep.
going in most of those decks too. Makes sense.
It's definitely viable, I think, in a lot of the decks, regardless. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Who'd you cut off?
I'm good.
I haven't said I didn't even know who you cut off. One thing though, I will say, going through, shout out to Pedro again for the deck database where you're able to look at all those.
Bonkers.
So shout out to Pedro. But when I heard that he put all those decks up there, I was like, great. I kind of am curious. Let me see what everyone else was running. The first deck I pulled up was Koufax's Korak deck. 26 characters, 24 actions and items. I'm like, this is an illegal deck. And then I was like, maybe I'll do better with the next one. The next one, I went to Wes's deck, which was the Sutek Zadok. And I was like, oh, he's starting Trogged. There's no monsters in this deck. And I was like, what is with people? The first 2 decks I just randomly pulled out were that. So shout out to Kofax and West for, just being like, yeah, this is good enough. Whatever. Let's have some fun.
Inciting chaos. I like it.
I was like, let me go to Bobby. Bobby, who deck checked these? Now with Pedro's site, deck checking will be a lot easier though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So let me just ask this. What did you see out of the events that really kind of made you think this guy thought outside of the box? With the exception of course, Adam's deck, which that was definitely, in my opinion, probably one of the most out there decks, and I loved everything about it.
Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna need a second to think of one.
I'll throw out Orem. I liked his Shyesa deck with Epic Judgment and Wither as the kill combo. I thought that was awesome to see. All right, cool. There is a cleric kill combo, and like that would be really good, especially against like multi-class warlords like Korak. I think if you're expecting to see a whole bunch of that, hit them with 1 Wither and then they just die. No matter what you roll, they are dead. There's no way to stop the D-level. There's no way to stop I guess you can magic resistance the Epic Judgment. That's really about it. But that was really cool. So kudos to Orem on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mine is probably we talked already about it, Atomic Tomato, to playing a draft Warlord. Bringing it so far, what really surprised me. I said, who's playing? What does he play? And I had to check the Warlord because I didn't have it on the radar anyway, because they're draft Warlords. I pushed them by side because I would never expect them to run that way.
What's going on, Henry?
What? I was checking it and I said, holy moly. So definitely a big shout out from my point of view for whole deck building. It goes to Atomic Tomato. And one thing that I want to mention is I was so surprised the elves, all this good Warlord, but the performance of the elves, I was totally surprised that they didn't do so well.
Only 4 elves.
4 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them were Shyesa, 1 was Roan, and the other one was a Lord Barrow.
They are much better than that.
I definitely thought we would see more Lord Barrow.
Yeah.
I really
Barrow's
want Lord Barrow.
too aggressive.
I think he needs a little bit of a help, though.
I just want to play Tazian. I want to polymorph Cyan and just react twice. That's all I want to do.
Just make his strikes big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Honestly, I don't have a deck that surprised me. I think I only played 3 games total because I played Hosh round 1, got knocked to the loser bracket. I don't remember who I played round 2.
Ridge.
Oh, that's right.
Because
that
we
was
swapped opponents.
What's that?
We swapped opponents.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so then that was Karak, I think he had.
Yep. I do not take credit for
then-
his deck. He said he took the list from me. That was nowhere near a list that I had made.
And then I played, I think, Dire Scrub next and lost a really long game to what's that dev Warlord? High Acolyte Helene or
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the cleric
Pain
one
in
that
the-
moves people and spends. She doesn't move, I should say, but she definitely.
I mean,
spends
it
money.
was a really good deck, but it was kind of just like how you would expect a Helene to play, so it didn't necessarily surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, like Adam's deck was obviously the wild card here, but excluding that one from this list, I actually have to go with Chris's deck because I enjoyed the Nothrog Wizard.
Yeah.
It's not a very common theme, and I enjoy the just the fun you seem to have with it because it's just looked like a fun spell blitz spell slinging deck.
Yeah, this was a fun one. The inspiration for this was the first draft I did at Gen Con. I was sat next to Nigel in our little 8-person pod, and then we got paired up against each other. first round, but like we were just chatting the whole time, talking about it. And he's like, "Yeah, I got Wasan with the first pack, and then I just kept building it." And he was like, "I haven't won a single game all weekend." And then he sat down and he completely obliterated me by going just Kragdam, order spells, act fucks, and just trucked me. I was like, "Damn, dude, this is a really good deck you built." He's like, "I'm just glad I won a game." I'm like, "I gotta try this constructed now." So shout out to Nigel for the inspiration on this one.
Absolutely. All right. So we've talked about the top 8 decks, some of our favorite decks. What do you think's going to happen in the upcoming meta? How do you
I
think
think there's
this
gonna be a
event-
lot more Retsov. I think those people aren't really gonna be trying or thinking. They're just copycats. But you know, and
Hey, I tried to be original with her.
copycat. It's not part of your brand or anything. But no, the real answer is I think a lot of people, and just the way that I've seen this community in general approach this is, I think they will look to find what is the answer to Retsov. But also I think they look to see like, all right, cool, what's another top tier deck that I can play that maybe we didn't see a lot of? I think that answer is Marehaven. We saw 2 of it.
Yes.
But I think she is a lot better than that. I think she could be the answer as well. That's why I've been like tooling around with her, just trying to see. But like I think we'll see a lot more of her coming out. I think
there were 4 mares in the August event.
Oh yeah, Henrique, Tubazilla, Midge, and Ratner.ex. Look
Yep.
at that.
So far, I think it goes front fighter or big army against Dragon Drop. So there will be probably some decks that specific try to counter that one, but will have problems if they encounter other decks. But I'm happy to have it, to give it some tries, and to get new inspiration if the second set will come out. So
Yeah.
looking forward for it. I think it's a solid base set. It's I wouldn't call it power level. I would say let's call it power level anyway. The
Right.
power level is higher than expected, especially with all the dragon drops and really good Diverinian support army. Well, we will see how it evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Oh, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I was honestly surprised just how many fighters we had overall. Like Chris mentioned earlier, from Ancients, we're kind of scarred thinking that front level fighters are just inherently bad and gonna die really quickly. But I mean, Retsov is a fighter, Tancred's a fighter, and those were most of the top decks. I mean, I think if you put those were the top 2 most played warlords overall.
Yeah.
They're both fighters. Karak's a fighter. So I think we'll kind of see that level out a little bit more. I do think as of this first set, Fighter is still probably the top just because Retsov is so good. But like Chris mentioned, we'll see Marehaven. I was honestly kind of surprised we didn't see more Lord Barrow. And then one that I'll throw out there is depending on what we get from later sets, if we're looking at draft warlords as well, with Adam's deck being a bit of a surprise, I think Nisha could be good as well if we get depending on what we get in future sets, having the ability to choose any faction and 2 classes. I know we saw Orem run that in the teams event back in I think February to pretty good effect. And granted, that was an Ancients card pool, but I just think she has a lot of potential to be kind of toolboxy as well.
I will agree wholeheartedly on that one. All right. We kind of skipped over one thing that I was going to talk about, but we already kind of answered it, which was what class do you feel was the strongest in this event? And I think Fighter was definitely the kingpin on that one. So with that, we'll go into the next topic. Just for newer players, what tips do you have for them?
I like that they put the feats reminder text on a lot of characters that will generally start and play a lot of lower level characters. Because I know that, I mean, to this day, I didn't remember what sleight of hand did. I can't. They changed charisma and stealth on us, so
Yeah.
even for me, like the old rules are so ingrained. So having that reminder text, I think, is really helpful. And maybe even just having a cheat sheet next to you or on your phone for what the feats do can be really helpful. But otherwise, I think just taking a pre-constructed deck, and I don't remember, do we have access to what those lists are going to be or not yet?
We do, and
Okay.
and the experience with them at Gen Con is they were very suitable right out of the box.
That's kind
You're
of
not,
what I thought. Yeah.
you're not gonna oh cool, I'm gonna buy a starter deck and go win like a 16-person tournament, but like you're able to stand in there and keep a fight. So
And if
I
you
do
switch
feel
out a
they're good.
couple cards, it could give it a lot more potential as well. So I
Yeah.
think taking a proven list or a starter deck, I'm not saying go net deck and metagame as a new player, but kind of start with some more basic cards, reminder text, starter decks, and maybe go from there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd say net deck with caution.
Yes.
And also, generally speaking, for new players, stay away from dwarves. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
But there's
But not because they're bad, but it's just also like a lot of people like Korak. He's on the branding all over the place.
Yeah.
He's a cool looking warlord, and it's like Korak Stonejaw, like that's a badass dwarf. Like anyone who's played D&D, you're like, yeah, sign me up for that guy. But there's so many reacts and things that you have to get comfortable with in order to play it. So like, not the most new player friendly warlord.
And he's just kind of tanky and slow. It's not the most
Yeah.
enjoyable, exciting gameplay for new players.
Yeah, because then you got to go. I'd say the simplest for the dwarves, you got to go Memoriam. But
Yeah.
even then, like starting with a cleric as your a cleric support, which is good and very solid, but it's a tougher road for a newer player. I always encourage them to go heavy offense first. So start back.
So you're saying go Gorthos out of the dwarves.
Gorthos, there's something there. It's taken me a while at the lab, but I will find something with Gorthos.
See, I have a bit of a different opinion for new players because I enjoy building janky off the wall kind of stuff typically, and so my advice would be to just experiment and really find what fits your personal play style.
Yep.
Because I am an aggro player through and through, so me playing a control cleric deck is miserable. Control clerics are very strong, but I'm really bad at it because that's not my playstyle. So put me in a fighter, I can win, regardless of the circumstances.
We saw that.
And absolutely,
But he didn't even build the deck. He didn't even experiment.
No, I think that's really solid advice, though, and I totally agree with that.
I'd like to add something else as well, especially if you're a new player or interested to play Warlord. Do yourself a pleasure. Go to people who play it, because there's a lot of old people who played this game since many, many years. We love to welcome you guys. Sit down to us, talk with us. We can give you advices. Even people who have big collections, maybe they will give you something for free because they don't have, 50 pieces of that card as well. Let you be inspiration for them, and they can give you so much talks about it, about the past of Warlord. What was there? Epic moments, epic matches, like how a Medusan felt, or I don't know who was the most drunken guy at any kind of convention. I don't know. Epic stories. And a big shout out, something that is mostly overlooked. Warlord got a fucking great backstory. Shout out to the story team who did a great job. Check out the flavor texts on the Warlords, on the cards. One of my favorite one this edition is Mudflag, because his favorite text is settled down to my Warlord that I was playing, Scuttle the Crew. That was hilarious. I read that one, I said, oh my god. Scuttle the Crew does his item, discard it and shoot. And from Hotflick, the flavor text, no, that's a creature with flair. Because he's blown himself up. Check out the flavor text, check out the story behind it. Go to Old People. We love to welcome you.
Absolutely.
And if you come across a card that you cannot pronounce, just understand Graham probably named it.
Like with the coddle.
I still can't pronounce it. He's corrected me like 4 times already.
I had
Wait,
it
which card?
memorized and I forgot.
It is a level 5 cleric familiar. I can't even, because of the letter X. Just
Oh my
put X
gosh.
and I'm sure you'll find it.
Shalom
Or
Coddle.
it's a German name. Holy fuck.
That's German? I don't know.
No, not at all.
It's from like a few different languages, but it's also like, I think it was Mayan or Aztec, the Shalom.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if that's the correct pronunciation or not. Final Tours Droofed, exactly.
And if you can't pronounce names, just make it up and lean into it. I mean, you see how that's working out here. Don't worry.
That
You'll
cop
be
looks
all right.
like a dragon and a chicken-headed child.
Chicken dragon, let's go.
So with that, I have a special announcement for all of you fun people here. I am going to be doing a box giveaway for 5th edition as soon as we get the product in stock. I'm working with my local game store, Manabar. If you're in or around Buffalo, New York, you come through, check out Manabar in North Tonawanda. They're great for the community. They're actually incredibly excited. The owners want to learn how to play the game so they can help promote it as well. So check them out. They're splitting the cost with me on a box to do a giveaway on the channel. So absolutely,
Nice.
we're going to be giving that away during the next 5e event that we do. I'm going to start taking kind of similar to how Chris does this, where if you play against me, your name goes in the drawing. And then I will choose one random person in the chat. You will have a chance at also getting your name in the drawing. So the more you play against me, you'll get it in there. Hopefully, I don't scrub out and just die immediately. But I don't think we're doing double elimination anymore, from what I've been hearing. So once that is all done on the finals, I plan on once again doing commentating for that, and we'll announce the winner of the free box giveaway. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to follow, though it is completely appreciated. So look forward to that. What do we got here from Ollie? How many ways have you heard Keziah pronounced? It was banked into the game from the start, or baked into the game from the start. I've always pronounced her Keziah.
Yeah, same here.
Keziah is the correct. I've heard Kezia. But like, it's just, I like, to me, it's always just like, some people just like certain syllable sounds. That's what I've always attributed to. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You can call it whatever you want. Because people all like, just like cauterize that level, that 4E spell. We would always say quarterize in Jersey because of our accent. And we're like, oh, it's a quarter. It's like, you're making fun of the way I talk. I'm from Jersey. You want me to not talk like that? Too bad. Like, so like, however you pronounce it, just lean into it. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Or you speak it easy and speak it in German, which is Keziah.
That sounds much nicer.
I
That
like
doesn't
it.
sound German because it's not like
Aggressive.
rough. Yeah,
German
exactly.
is a beautiful language.
There's no R in it. So if you're taking out the R, it's not so bad.
Ask Gracchus about the TL combination. Or is that I? I can't really tell. I don't have my glasses on. Looks like a
It's
TL.
probably from the Coatl.
Yeah. Nah, we don't have to ask Gracchus anything.
Yeah.
We sure don't.
His takes are bad.
With that, do any of you have any final thoughts you'd like to put out there for us for this very first 5e special that we've done for constructed events?
Honestly, just thank you for organizing this to kind of talk through, like you said, this first event, kind of see what the meta was and what we think it'll look like going forward, since probably not getting new cards for a little while. It's definitely best to settle into what we have right now, not think about a new set, and just focus on this meta.
Yeah, I appreciate the thanks, and I thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. But also thank you to Bobby for organizing it, even though Russell and Graham
Yeah.
left him hanging and made him do all the work. He was very grumpy for the whole session, and he was upset that nobody understood how brackets work. But then he's got to realize that Warlord players like Greaves, who have played the game for 2 decades, still don't know how cuts work. And so he ain't going to figure out how the bracket works. They're just not. So a lot of frustration that Bobby dealt with. And love you, Bobby.
Yeah. Thank you as well, Aaron. And shout out to everybody who support this game. And get the game back in the stores if it's coming out. Everybody try to recruit as much as possible so we have a new golden era in that game. I would love to see that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hosh, what do you got for us?
Once again, thanks for having me. I appreciate being able to be here and chit chat with you all and share some opinions. But ultimately, like, have fun with the game, guys. Like, this is what we're here to do. Like, I know that it can get kind of sweaty out there, especially not right now in Worlds. So, just we're all here to have fun and play the game. So, I just encourage that wholeheartedly. Just make it fun.
Yeah, don't be scared to play with us unless you're a piece of shit. Then don't play with us.
Hey, why do you gotta call me out like that?
Oh, and one great thing is, congratulations again for winning that one, Hosh. And yeah, nice to see not always Graham winning every tournament.
Yeah, no kidding.
Again, I want to
We
shout
love
out
you, Graham.
I want to shout out Pedro Smurf again for the amazing work he's been doing with the Warlord database for decks, the draft sim, and all of the stuff. I do have something in the works where I plan on setting up a stream where we actually get an 8-man pod, so we can do a draft on stream, so people can, maybe learn about how to do it, get an understanding, and check some of us out. That'll be a little bit later down the pipeline, just because I got to get it figured out with who wants to play and things of that nature. Another shout out, though we give them a lot of shit, really thank you to Josh and Woodrow for doing what you've done to try and bring this back. We shit on you a lot because of all of the delays that have happened with the game. We understand some of it is outside of your control, but communication is key. We will never not remind you of that. But very much thanks for bringing this game back. Will Woodrow from Chris. Thank you.
Learn power attack.
And I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for the subs from Gracchus, from Sanji. Thank you for the gift sub, Gracchus. I appreciate it. Thanks for new followers, new joiners to the channel. I will be back actually later today for my Worlds match where I am playing Belial against the Malek, who was also known as Moon Boots, where I forgot what he's playing, but it doesn't matter because if he doesn't win against me, I will be surprised. My deck is made to be stupid. Thank you again.
What time is that at? Do you want to plug your own channel? What time you're playing? Or do you not know?
We don't know the time that I'm playing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can check me out here.
Just to get you to subscribe and follow so you get alerts when he goes live.
I'm playing later today too. I'll plug myself.
Yeah,
3
go
p.m. Central.
Sounds good.
I'm not a slacker. I already played. No plugs here.
Seb, Sly, you got any plugs?
What's plugs? What do you mean?
Oh, plugs would be, like any links. When are you playing your game? When will you have it uploaded? Things like that.
I did my game already. I have to upload the VOD. Probably do that one on Sunday. So today, well, it's getting close to 6 p.m. on my side, and friends will come over and we'll have a good evening.
Yeah.
And well, I probably need some hours more tomorrow to stand up. So yeah, somehow on Sunday evening, I guess.
Hush, you have any plugs for us? Where can we find you? Are you on Twitch or YouTube?
Absolutely not. You can find me on the Discord, maybe.
There you go.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Arlen, I can't remember. Do you have a YouTube set up?
I do not. I'm just on Twitch right now. And then I have my website as well, thegildedaccord.com, where I have the spoilers.
Sounds awesome. Thanks for also hosting all of that with the spoilers. That was very much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah. Awesome work.
Thank you. I had a help from Greaves as well. Uh, it was definitely a lot of work once Gen Con came around, and I got about 200 cards at once. Had to take a whole day off of work to get those up there. But overall, it I think went really smoothly, and I'm glad the community appreciated it.
Yeah. Chris, we can find you both on Twitch and YouTube under Nirvana Tool. Is that right?
That is correct. And about an hour and 16 minutes ago, we just released the latest 5-minute deck building challenge with Church Enforcer Tancred. So go check that out. We still got 7-ish more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 more after this. We're almost through all 31 Warlords. Well, I mean, I built them all like weeks ago, but the videos are trickling out. So go check those out. And just to change, because we're being all positive, we got to be a little negative. I don't want to give a shout out. I want to shout at Midge for not playing, for playing Lorcana too much, and yet for still watching my streams and sending me questions on why I didn't make certain moves with Sanguinel, like he knows how to play better than me. So fuck you, Midge.
Sly, with you, I know you're on Twitch. It's Sly Fox Live, and instead of an I, it's a number 1. Is it the same for YouTube?
No, it's just Slyfox.
Okay, cool.
The problem was on Twitch, Slyfox was already used, Slyfox Live was used, so there's a famous radio station here in my countryside, which is called Eins Live, which means one live, and it's written exactly like that, so I choose to copy that one. That's the reason why it's there.
And if you don't know where to find me, you can find me here, Powerful Mages, on Twitch, as well as on YouTube under Powerful Mages, where I have been trying to more actively upload my stuff there for Warlord cards and stuff like that. And if you like a good variety game, check us out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm always playing a game with my buddy Danny. But until next time, thank you all for stopping by. We appreciate your love and support as always, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
See ya.
Bye.
Guten Nacht, mein Freund.
Oh, good night.